Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen.
Amen, Brother Ben. This is the Easter episode of the podcast.
It is, which is really funny because we actually recorded on Easter last year as well.
We did?
Our Weston episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. I remember now because that's when you brought me wine that time, but you didn't bring me wine.
I tried to bring you wine and they were out of prim and proper. I tried. I mean, I guess I could have brought you something else, but...
It's fine. I got my beer.
So, this is Ribnance.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Emily.
I feel like it's been a while since we've recorded, which I don't think it really has, but we've just had a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, yeah, I know. I don't want to like spoil anything, but I can't wait for what we've been up to.
We'll just have
We are official ghost hunters now. Which this episode then is very perfect because it probably should have been our first episode. Today we're going to talk about protection against spirits and how to repel spirits.
Well, that's definitely not what we're going. We're not going for repelling. Protection.
Well, I mean,
maybe.
if they follow you home, you should repel them from your home.
That's fair. Yeah, I do need that.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
True.
So this probably should have been our first episode, not our 12.
I don't
I don't know. We have so many now that we don't know what the numbers are.
We're a preteen podcast.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out.
I'm looking up how many we have.
I think this is 12. So anyway, today we're going to talk about, cleansing our homes and protecting ourselves, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, I definitely need that. I need it.
You need it.
I need it.
Plus, a lot of it is, I don't know, it's just really fascinating just to research some of it and be like, why some of these things? Some are obvious, and then others, it's like, why? So you've kind of got, I'm going to call them your big hitters that aren't necessarily tied to, like, religion. You've got sage, salt, and then holy water. Because holy water is religion, but it's, like, in every religion, so it's not just, like, Catholicism.
Are you going to tell us how to make holy water?
Kind of. Not detailed, but there's some steps in there.
Can I make holy water?
No, we need a priest. At least if you're going to make Catholic holy water.
Is there off-brand holy water?
Yeah, there's Buddhist holy water. There's other holy water. You want Catholic holy water, you're going to need a priest.
It's like all the different sparkling waters.
Yes.
Is Catholic the La Croix?
It's the top of the line.
I don't know if I go that far.
Well, I'm
Catholic. More of a bubbly person.
That's non-denominational.
What kind of holy water is that? How can I make non-denominational holy water, please?
You just say a prayer over it yourself.
Like, please make this water spicy and magical and keep away the ghosts and demons. Thank you.
Done.
And then go blue.
Yeah, and you're good. You're golden.
Well, I don't think we need an episode anymore.
We're done. Emily can do it herself. She doesn't need what I've learned.
All right. I'm done.
So yeah, you've got your three big ones, sage, salt, and holy water. And then you've also got, religious talismans, like, I guess these are Catholic ones, but, crucifix or the rosary or, medals of saints. I'm sure other religions have talismans as well, like Benny from The Mummy.
Yep, that's me.
But just because I'm Catholic, I really kind of focused on the Catholic ones because otherwise this episode would be hours long if I went into all the religious talismans. So maybe we gotta have some future content, so.
Right.
Catholic today, other religions another day.
Sure.
And then, depending on your beliefs, there's also forms of protection with, like, crystals or, like the Greek evil eye, that blue eye,
I've seen, This is related to crystals. I've seen there's like a meme I've seen where it's somebody's a picture of crystals, and it's like someone once told me they don't believe in using crystals to protect you, and I said, then clearly you haven't thrown them hard enough.
That's pretty good.
It's your bonking crystal.
I mean, it would deter someone.
Yeah.
Some of them are sharp.
They are. You need a pointy rock. Yeah, that's what they're actually using.
So that's W.
Mr. Pointy.
Oh man. So this is probably the latest we've ever recorded. So, the energy, it's also Easter.
Had a lot of jelly beans.
Yeah, it's a lot of sugar, but then I crashed earlier. Now I'm trying to bring myself back up.
I'm just over here just vibing and dancing. She's like, you gotta contribute. Make sure you say things. And I'm like, no problem. Let me interrupt again.
Oh man, this is supposed to be a short episode. I don't know why we always say that, because they never are, but
I've seen you like multiple days in a row lately, it seems, and I'm still just like, I missed you. I have so many things to say.
I know, it's actually sad, like, when we go like 5 days without seeing each other. I'm like, where's Emily? I need Kayla. I need her.
I tried to go to a party without you last night. I was just like,
I would have much rather been there than work, but
Yeah.
Such
That's
is
fair.
life.
I guess. Okay, ghosts.
Sage.
Oh!
We'll start with sage, because I feel like that's the most universal one when you think of, I need to cleanse my home.
I've got sage tea. Does that work against possession?
Does that cleanse your insides?
If
You're possessed? I don't know. But we can say that
if
for
we
the
make
exorcism.
sage tea with holy water.
I did watch this, the 45-minute episode. It was a Catholic podcast. It's called, like, the Catholic Talk Show. What did Kayla do on a Friday night? I watched a Catholic podcast. But it was about holy water, and they brought up that quite. One of the guys, it was like 2 guys and a priest. I don't know.
2 guys and a priest walk into a bar.
Well, one was a priest because I could tell. The other 2, I don't know if they were also somehow churchmen. But anyways, men of the church. But where is it? Oh, one of them asked, "Can you drink holy water?" And they were like, the priest was like, "Yeah, sure,
I guess
if you really want to." Oh, and then they talked about how. Then that led in, I think, to the discussion about how someone had done a study. So when you enter Catholic churches, there's these little fonts where you dip your fingers in and you do a sign of the cross. That's supposed to kind of be a renewal of your baptism.
Oh.
When you enter a church. And I guess someone had they were talking on this podcast that someone had done a study that there's actually a large percentage of fecal matter, because, people don't wash their hands.
Ew.
And they're just like communal,
Ew.
So be careful which holy water you drink.
Wow. Ew.
Don't drink it out of the baptismal font. Fun fact. But we're going to get into holy water later.
You need to be careful where you fill up your water gun.
Yeah.
Accidentally shoot somebody in the eye with that?
Yeah.
Holy pink eye.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how a lot of cases of pink eye actually start. They got
holy water
shot in the eye with holy water.
It's an epidemic.
But, I mean, maybe I should start with holy water. But I'm going to start with sage, because that's the order of my notes.
I'm sorry.
So, sage. Burning sage is an ancient spiritual purification ritual practiced by native peoples and religions all around the world. So it's like every culture, they like the sage.
Something about it just says burn me.
There's some fun stuff I learned about sage.
Oh.
Burning sage is also known as smudging. So that's the practice of burning sage. Oh my god. Practice of burning sage as part of a ritual, which involves the bundling of herbs, which can include, sage or cedar or lavender, into sticks, and then slowly burning them in a purification ceremony, whether for meditation, for blessing a home or space, or getting rid of unwanted spirits. The practice dates back to prehistoric times and has just been used by our ancestors all over the world. So it's not just one culture. Burning sage began with Native cultures in many parts of the world, including Native Americans, who would hold smudging ceremonies to ward off evil spirits and illness and to encourage positive healing energy. And then over time, it's found its way and kind of into the occult.
Right. As things do.
Yes, yes. You know, as we learned the Ouija board, it was an innocent game, and then it found its way into the occult.
The occult is just a net for things that aren't standard.
Yeah. Eventually, we will bring it in.
What else will be occult someday? Maybe the Wii?
Yeah. Well, maybe I can sell my Wii for more than it's worth now, then.
A cursed occult object. Yeah.
But why sage over other...
We need to be recording. Oh my god.
That's my transition.
But why sage?
But why sage over other herbs?
Why sage, Kayla?
Well... Kayla. That's your moral voice.
Why?
Sage, scientifically, sage clears bacteria in the air.
What about in your bodies?
Well, here we go. So sage smoke offers rapid delivery to the brain and efficient absorption to the body.
Huh.
Scientists have observed that sage can clear up to 94% of airborne bacteria in a space and disinfect the air.
So literally just the smoke, though? Like if you burn, or if you diffuse the oil, does it not work that way?
You're asking questions I did not research. But this is all related to smoke, so yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's good to know, though.
Yeah.
Let's start buying all these smudge sticks.
Yeah, it says when sage is burned, it releases negative ions, which is linked to putting people into a positive mood.
I need a lot of smudge sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But you got to watch which smudge sticks you buy. So want to buy California white sage or white sage smudge sticks. White sage is the most common variety you'll find since the color is associated with purity. But you can also use other dried plants such as juniper, rosemary, lavender, cedar. They can also clear energy if sage is not your thing. But you don't want to just use regular old sage in the kitchen or, from Five Below.
Damn it. No Five Below smudge sticks.
No, because you want to buy high-quality, ethically cultivated sage. Your large commercial vendors, they're not really concerned with buying, sacred and ceremonial product that has been collected with reverence.
Oh. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe Five Below is doing that, but I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't think Five Below screams ethically sourced.
And collected with reverence.
Those Laffy Taffy be sus.
So then you've got, so you got your sage. Now you got to actually do the burning.
Do the saging.
Yeah.
Got the sage, now we got to sage it.
But there's a key here. So before you light your sage, remember to open the doors and windows because the unwanted energy needs to have a clear pathway to get out. You don't want to smudge up a closed house.
Follow me! Get out! Ouch!
That's what it said. You want to slowly walk around your space and allow the smoke to kind of be around you. And you want to guide the smoke and the negative energy toward the open windows and doors so it can escape.
I seriously think this is going to be a part of my spring cleaning.
I mean, but also apparently it kills bacteria in the air. It disinfects it. So
perfect.
I mean, all the things.
All the things.
I mean,
set off
there's really no side effects.
Unless I
turn on my set off the smoke alarm.
Go to the window, to the wall, to the sun.
That's how we should have started the episode.
The window.
I thought you would like, so in one of the sites about how to, burn sage, I thought this was an interesting one, which kind of ties back to our last episode. This person said to give special attention to areas in front of mirrors, in corners, and in spaces like foyers, hallways, and doorways. I thought that was interesting, to sage in front of mirrors. Go into that other realm.
Generally, mirrors spook people, and I think it's just generally expected that maybe it is a portal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this person thought so.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I know. I thought you would
Yeah.
Like, not like that.
That's like, it's, never mind, it's unrelated, but yeah, we'll save that tangent for later.
Sure.
It tangents too hard.
Okay. Well, as you're walking around with your sage, you want to ask the unwanted energy to leave your space, saying it in your mind and out loud. This could include reciting prayers or a positive mantra, or if necessary, strongly declaring to the spirit that this is your home and they are not wanted here. And, if you don't feel confident performing your own banishing spell, you can seek out a psychic or a medium who specializes in house clearings. And, they'd be able to cleanse your home more thoroughly, even hold a seance to contact the spirit directly and help it cross over from this plane into the next.
I've heard of a lot of people doing that when they buy a new house.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might just do that when I buy my next house and just be like, you know what? Inspections, all the things. Psychic. Do a quick banishing walkthrough, please.
I mean,
just in case.
Just to make sure we got all our bases covered.
Stop scratching that!
Kira.
Banish you. You're a negative spirit.
Yeah, you're gonna get saged.
She's gonna toss you. Your catnip toy is gonna be replaced with sage.
Oh. So that's sage. So did you learn some stuff?
I did learn some stuff.
Good.
Yeah. Now I feel the need to sage things. I'm just gonna open all my stuff. I am gonna call in sick tomorrow and just sage my apartment. Just like I had negative energies.
I needed to get it out.
I had to banish them. I had to go find somewhere other than Five Below.
Yeah, you gotta go find well, one of these sites had like a lot, Native American stores and that kind of stuff.
I'm curious if there are any around here. I don't know.
There's gotta be at least one.
Fine, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Do a field trip.
Field trip
to get some sage. Yeah.
Now, the next one that can help protect us, salt.
So we know about salt.
So, why salt?
Because it's
yummy.
Salty.
So salty.
Because
it is a pure and earthly substance, and because, ghost spirits are, not of this world, they are afraid of earthly material.
But why just salt? What about rocks?
But salt is a pure substance.
Rocks aren't pure.
They're like mutts. They got other stuff going on in there.
But it's pure earth.
But crystals, they're rocks, right?
That's true.
So
they just don't like it because it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like how demons and stuff can't enter hallowed ground? I'm specifically thinking of the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow where the Headless Horseman couldn't enter the cemetery of the church.
Yeah.
So if you get church cemetery dirt.
Which, actually, remember we learned church cemeteries are called graveyards.
That's true. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. So we need graveyard dirt.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start using that instead of a salt circle.
You're going to go acquire that?
Yep.
Okay.
See, I'm not a grave digger. I'm just a grave skimmer.
I'm just here for the soil.
The top.
I'm just here for the soil.
They don't need all of this. Trust me. They ain't coming back.
They don't need it. I need it.
I need this dirt. It's ethically sourced.
Oh my gosh. Well, salt, being an earthbound substance, has the ability to transfer its quality to the area it touches. Thus, its purity will repel and protect from ghosts and evil spirits, keeping those otherworldly beings from attacking, possessing, damaging, tormenting, or even simply existing.
You just kill them with salt?
Basically.
Salt bathe them out of existence.
Yeah. Plus, this might also go into... So that's kind of your... I don't know. Ooh, it's a pure substance, it's earthly, la la la. But some of this, then, I thought was really interesting, that salt has a history of a high value in the ancient world.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just remained important in our culture over the ages. In antiquity, salt was refrigeration. It preserved food. So, the belief is that salt is so pure that not even decay can touch it.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that element.
Yeah. And then kind of a fun fact. So in medieval Europe, easy access to salt during meals assigned social status. So fancy salt cellars, they're those little like bowls with salt in them,
Yeah.
would be placed on select tables within easy reach of those deemed worthy. At a noble table, to be seated, quote, below the salt was to be seen as unworthy access of such luxury. And now I'm like,
Now
we
we're
got
like,
salt
I need a
everywhere.
low salt diet.
I know. Get off.
Too much sodium.
And and salt. So it has this importance, in society, and it's also become a religious symbol because it represents purity. And in many religions, salt is still included on the altar to represent purity, and it is mixed into holy water for the same reason. So I didn't realize that salt is in holy water. I'll get into that in the holy water section. But
I didn't realize there's so many reasons why salt was like considered so important in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because obviously I knew about the salt circle, but I just like, I don't know, it's salt. It's just, I don't know, that's what you do.
Yeah, I learned there's just so much fascinating stuff about salt. So, I didn't even know this. And so in Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, Judas is seen knocking over salt.
Oh, wow.
And
that's cool.
Because of that, people then began associating salt with deceit. Oh. So in medieval times, Christians believed that the devil waits behind your left shoulder. So when you spill salt, it gives the devil an opportunity to step in. So you have to take the salt that you spilled and throw it over your shoulder to distract or blind the devil to protect yourself. So that's where the superstition of throwing salt over your left shoulder, for protection from evil or to protect you from bad luck. That's where that comes from. Because, the devil or his demons, they sit on your left and your guardian angels sit on your right. In the Catholic Church, salt is used in a variety of purifying rituals. Jesus called his disciples the salt of the earth. And that is a statement that was commemorated by the Catholic Church until Vatican II. So for you non-Catholics, I don't want to really get into it, but Vatican II is when, it was in 1962 when the Roman Catholic Church they made some changes to a lot of the practices. So such as Mass is no longer said in Latin. You used to have communion rails, so when you would go up for communion, you had to kneel. And then also the priest used to face away from you during the Eucharist, whereas now, the priest faces the church. So that's just some of the bigger changes that I remember of Vatican II. But so prior to Vatican II, the Catholic Church would place salt on a baby's lip during their baptism.
Oh.
We don't do that anymore, but that just shows that salt was so important.
That's so interesting.
But in the 1962 Rituale Romanum, which includes the blessing of holy water.
Yeah.
Salt is added to water in silence after a prayer in which God is asked to bless the salt, recalling the blessed salt scattered over the water by the prophet Elijah and invoking the protective powers of salt and water that they may drive away the power of evil.
Huh.
And and salt is still used, obviously, to make holy water and, in exorcisms of the Roman Catholic Church. So
I didn't know salt was used that much at all.
Yeah, so.
Does the type of salt matter?
I didn't find that in my research. So, probably not just, you probably want, pure salt, not just table salt, because that's been,
Could you just, use a big hunk, the salt lick? Can you use that for protection if you think there's
just
lob it?
It also would protect you from other bad things.
Multi-purpose protection. Salt licks.
Salt licks. Then I kind of found, I would just kind of went on about, Catholicism and, Christianity salt stuff, but I got a whole list of salt, its importance all over the world. So, ancient Greek worshippers, they consecrated salt in their rituals. For example, the Vestal Virgin sprinkled all sacrificial animals with salt.
Huh.
To the Jews, salt came to signify the eternal covenant between Jews and Israel. Jewish temple offerings still include salt on the Sabbath, and Orthodox Jews still dip their bread in salt as a remembrance of those sacrifices. Covenants in both the Old and New Testaments were often sealed with salt, explaining the origin of the word salvation. It comes from the Latin word for, healing and salt.
Oh. Huh. That's really cool.
Yeah. In Buddhist tradition, salt repels evil spirits. It is also why in many Asian cultures it's customary to throw salt over your shoulder before entering your house after a funeral. It scares off any evil spirits that may be clinging to your back.
That is so interesting.
So that's very
almost,
similar to what we think of as the devils on our left shoulder. They think, oh, you go to a funeral, there might be an evil spirit clinging to you. It's crazy, the similarities.
It's always so weird when something gets replicated so similarly,
But
like
very
you wonder
far apart.
wonder if somehow the messages got crossed at some point, or is there a reason why the same message exists?
Because it's true.
Yeah, you go straight for the because it's true so fast. Because it's ghosts, Emily. Because salt is magical and pure.
Yeah, so that's why it doesn't matter what you believe. It just is.
Kind of craving some salt now, though.
Well,
I'm just walking with a thing of salt in my hand and wow, yummy.
She's just gonna start buying salt licks just to lick them.
It's Miss Nick.
In Hawaii and Samoa, sea salt is used for protection, both by placing salt in each of the four corners of the house and by pouring salt on the door threshold to prevent any spirits from crossing into one's home.
Huh.
Chinese folklore credits the phoenix with the discovery of salt. There's a story that goes with this. One day, a peasant saw a phoenix rise from the ground. He knew there must be a treasure on the earth where the phoenix had risen into the air. He worked the soil for many hours but could find no wealth, only soil. Still, he knew it must have value. So he took the soil to the emperor and gifted him his treasure. The emperor said it was nothing but earth and put him to death for his insolence.
Oh.
Later, a piece of this soil fell into a bowl of soup for the emperor. On tasting it and discovering that the source of this new wonderful taste was the dead peasant's soil, he felt great shame. He called for the dead man's wife and son and gifted them control of the lands where the salt occurred. The peasant's family became rich and prosperous. I guess it has a happy ending.
You gave me this dirt. You must die. Oh, the dirt tastes good. I am sorry.
I am sorry. Also, it's like, whoops, I just spilled this dirt into my soup.
I'm going to eat it anyways. Can't waste good soup.
In Norse... Start that over.
North mythology.
In Norse mythology, the gods first came from a salty ice block.
Same.
In another creation myth, Tiamat is the symbol of the chaos of primordial creation in Mesopotamian religion.
D&D.
She is a primordial salty goddess of the ocean, mating with Apsu, the god of freshwater, to produce the younger gods.
Oh. Very interesting.
Yes.
Salt is everywhere.
So in Aztec religion, Huixtaculatl? Something like that.
Attempt at that. It's hard.
She was a fertility goddess who presided over salt and salt water. And they even had a festival during the 7th month of the Aztec calendar to honor this goddess. It's a long word. In the American Southwest, the Pueblo worshipped the Salt Mother. Other Native American tribes had significant restrictions on who was permitted to eat salt. Hopi legend holds that the angry warrior twins punished mankind by placing valuable salt deposits far from civilization, requiring hard work and bravery to harvest the precious mineral. Shinto religion also uses salt to purify an area. Before sumo wrestlers enter the ring for a match, there is usually an elaborate Shinto rite where a handful of salt is thrown into the center to drive off malevolent spirits.
That is crazy. Like, I definitely think I took, like, salt for granted and, like, never realized how important it was across cultures. Like, dang.
And salty landscapes are a part of the Australian inland, and there are many Aboriginal myths to explain or warn against these salty areas.
So you wonder, like...
So, I mean, it's, like, literally all over the world.
Yeah, and does, like, the significance of salt, like, it being so important to preservation and all of that, does that just naturally leave humans to come up with very similar lore behind it? Or, like...
Probably, because I guess probably every culture realized that salt preserved food, and because that I mean, refrigerators are pretty new, so that's like so vital for their survival that they come to kind of
you have
like
revere
worship,
it.
revere,
Salt.
Like
this keeps us alive essentially, and
and plus it does make things taste better.
It does. But then when you're like us, we're just like, oh, salt just makes things taste better. If you put too much on it, though, that's a bad thing. We haven't really had to experience in the I need this to survive capacity.
Right. Yeah, we take salt for granted is what I learned.
Yeah. I did not know it was so important. I thought the salt circle thing was just a silly haha.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting, like one of the things I read that, the salt circles, because it's like an earthly substance, and it can kind of, when salt touches the earth, it just kind of, it purifies what it touches. Or that belief is that it does that. I think that's
I mean,
they even do salt circles in exorcisms.
Right, like with how, and I didn't realize how long salt had been used and how it was used so widely, so like, hell, there's gotta be something to it. My friend who's into like Wicca and stuff, very specific. When we were doing little spell jars, she said if you put salt into the spell jar, that amplifies the spell. See? Yeah, so it's kind of like salt's it's kind of not necessarily the same thing, but she said if you put salt in anything, it makes it stronger. Which I guess it's using like herbs and things, so it is earthly material. So I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. All right, so now we've got kind of my last big hitter. You got your holy water and religious talismans. So, of course, I kind of talked about this earlier, that like holy water is powerful in a lot of religions and cultures for purifying and blessing, but I'm really just going to talk about it in terms of the Catholic Church.
Right.
Just because that's what I know. And it's key in exorcism, so...
That's true, and that's gonna be important soon.
Not that we're doing an exorcism, but we want to talk about them.
Shh, don't tell anybody, but Kayla's getting an exorcism for her birthday. It's gonna be really good. Don't tell her.
Oh, did I hear something?
Huh? No? Read your notes.
So... holy water is water that has been sanctified by a priest for the purpose of baptism, for the blessing of persons, places, and objects, or for repelling evil. Holy water is encouraged by the Catholic Church to bless your children and homes. The belief is holy water flows from the font of the church into homes and creates that continuity between the two.
Okay.
And like it's of course used in the sacrament of baptism, and so I kind of talked about this at the start, but as a reflection of your renewal of baptism, Catholics dip their fingers in holy water and make the sign of the cross when entering a church, which cleanses venial sin and provides protection against evil. And venial sins, those are the ones that like don't cut you off from God's grace, like gossiping and pride and greed.
Oh my God.
Not the big ones. The more venial sins.
Three the only little ones?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know. Little's maybe not the right word, but the ones that are more easily forgivable than murder. That's what a venial sin is.
Oh. Okay.
And use of holy water goes back to the Old Testament. I thought this was kind of funny that the Romans thought it was odd that the Jews living in the desert where you have limited water, they would use holy water for cleansing, and the Romans thought that was wasteful.
They would.
They would.
Like, God, why are you wasting all that?
Yeah.
You could be more efficient.
You do, yeah. How dare you? And then, kind of related to the purity of salt belief, in Catholicism, holy water, and as well as water that's used during the washing of the priest's hands during Mass, it is not allowed to be disposed of in regular plumbing. Roman Catholic churches, they have a special basin that leads directly into the ground for the purpose of disposing holy water.
So if it goes in the regular plumbing, is it not holy anymore?
No, but it's just as bad.
But it's already got...
Because you don't want it going, you want the special water just going into the sewers.
Of course, the rest of us can't have the special water.
You gotta go back into the ground.
Right, back to the ground.
Yeah.
You can't have that poopy water going back into the sewer.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah.
It's too dirty in there. All the poop hand's been in it.
And funny, this is like kind of unrelated, but the same, like, so during Mass, like, there's the wine, and that also has to go in the special basin. You can't just, like, if there's wine left over after communion, the priests actually used to have to drink it.
Oh, don't.
But then, you know, by the time they'd get to, like, the fourth Mass on a Sunday, my mom said, like, she could always tell when she was a kid, like, when priests were a little
That's
tipsy.
amazing.
So now, I don't know when that was changed, that the priests don't have to finish the wine themselves.
Stop getting our priests wasted, man.
The wine can now be disposed in the special basin. But, because Catholics believe that wine, it turns into the blood of Christ. That is a Catholic thing. That's why, like, if non-Catholics go to church, they can't have communion, because other Christians don't. They just think it's a symbolism, not that it actually becomes the body and blood of Christ.
What kind of wine are they buying?
It's good stuff. It's good. It is. Yeah, it's good.
So it's not like barefoot.
We don't buy the cheap stuff. Catholics like to drink. So come on over. We're a lot of fun at parties.
Our priests are drunk.
I mean, it's Italians and Irish and French. We like our wine. Anyways, I'm way off topic.
You were describing your Easter to me, and I was like, that actually sounds really fun. Like, I would have to go to church, but then you went out to lunch and then a winery. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's fun to be Catholic.
And I just sit outside the Mass and, like, I'll sit at the winery and watch from across the street.
And, you know, Catholic Masses, they're like exactly an hour. You know what you're getting into.
That is nice.
Every Catholic church you go to, it's going to have the same formula. It's the exact same formula in every Catholic church, so you know what you're getting into. It's great.
Chanting? Oh, the answer to chanting should never be...
I mean, I don't know if you call it chanting, but it's like we recite prayers together, which could probably sound like chanting.
Sounds a little culty to me.
Yeah. Here for the cult stuff. I'm going to take you to church one of these days.
Take me to church.
So, did you know that there are different types of holy water? I learned this from that Catholic podcast episode I listened to.
Wow.
You have holy water with oils, that's used in baptism.
Okay.
You have holy water with wine and ashes, used to consecrate churches.
Okay.
And then you have holy water with consecrated salts, used in blessings and protection against evil.
Question? What kind of ashes?
They didn't talk about that in the episode, because I was also... Well, it's probably so, like, on Ash Wednesday... It's the ashes that they burn from the previous Palm Sunday. So it might be palms.
Okay. Because, you know...
I'm going to go with that.
We just saw that holy finger. And, like, I know you guys be, like, stealing body parts. So...
We're not burning bodies and putting that in the holy water, I don't think.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The Vatican, they had a lot.
Like, do they have a special little room where they burn saints just so they can grind up the ashes?
To consecrate their churches? You know,
it doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility.
No.
We only had one of those fingers. There are 4 more. I had to think about that.
Yeah, where are they at?
Because I know he's got a hand somewhere, so we're missing some other fingies.
There's a lot of parts somewhere out there.
I feel like one saint's body can consecrate a lot of churches.
Well, you know, we have, yeah. Speaking of saints.
Mm-hmm.
Saints have written about the power of holy water as a force to repel evil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, we have John the Baptist, and we just saw his finger. Which is maybe the weirdest sentence I have ever said.
We were literally walking around the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City because we just found out that they have John
the Holy Finger.
The Holy Finger of Kansas City. It's been there 2 or 3 years now. But we couldn't find this finger, and we didn't want to ask for help because we didn't know how to say, where's the finger?
Yeah, it's not like, oh, where's the Monet?
Yeah, it's like, oh, where's the finger?
That's what we want to say.
We're just here for the dead people. We looked at the mummies a long time, and then we're like, but it's no finger.
Yeah.
It was, like, gilded, too.
Yeah, we found it. It was just a room we had skipped over.
Yeah, honestly, like, having a finger, it wasn't a lot of fanfare for...
No, it was kind of tucked in the corner, and it was like, you have John the Baptist's finger, and it's just I mean, it was in a very fancy
Yeah.
thingy, but
it definitely would be something you pass over when you look at like, oh, it's really. And what I was reading about it before I went there is they can't verify that it is John the Baptist's finger. So
I mean,
they could have just robbed any grave and been like, finger, saint's finger.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he lived.
But still, it's somebody's finger.
It's somebody's finger, and it's an old finger.
And it's an old finger in a fancy
Whether it's
box.
his or not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That was
our adventure yesterday.
looking for.
It ties into Easter, right?
The real I'm gonna make ties into Easter.
Saint Teresa of Avila. She wrote about the power of holy water. She lived in the 1500s, and she believed fervently in the power of holy water used, because she stated that she used it with success to repel the devil who visited her and departed after she threw holy water at him. She wrote, quote, "I know by frequent experience that there is nothing which puts the devil to flight like holy water." I kind of love that. Puts the devil to flight.
Frequent experience.
I know. I'm like, why is he visiting you so much, Saint Teresa?
Maybe you just don't want to be a saint.
Yeah, you're then gonna get to come after you.
Yeah, like
He's like, you're praying too much.
you're praying too hard, too well.
I gotta come and.
I gotta harass you. Stop throwing water at me, Teresa.
Yeah. People will often wear the Saint Benedict medal for protection from evil. Saint Benedict is a symbol of opening doors and opening difficult paths. So his medal protects from curses, evil, vices, protects against diseases, and protects good health. So I clearly need a Saint Benedict medal. I have a Saint Christopher. He's the protector of travelers.
You do need that.
I have one.
Were you wearing it when you got sick those 2 times?
Nope.
And
I should have worn my St. Jude bracelet then, which I used to wear all the time, but now I don't wear it as much anymore.
You gotta wear all of them.
I gotta wear them all. They all have different things. You pray to St. Anthony when you lose something. He helps you find things.
So this is why you're still a Catholic, because it's basically like being like kind of a polytheistic religion, but not really.
Yeah, because Catholics are the only I think the only Christians that have the saints. Like, the others don't have the saints.
Yeah.
That we kind of like they're kind of like lesser gods. That's not the
Yeah.
right word, but they're kind of like, we pray to them as well. Well, like the prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel that I said at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
That is a protection prayer.
Yeah. I never really thought about that much, because I guess
we also really like Mary, Jesus' mom.
Yeah. That's good to like. It's good to like moms.
Yeah, the other Christians they don't pray to Mary as much as we do.
It's true. That gives Catholicism some points.
I mean, there's a lot against Catholicism too, but it's also a very old institution that's just.
Honestly, there's just a lot against humanity.
Yeah.
It's just a humanity problem.
Mm-hmm.
And also a Catholicism problem.
I mean, anything that's organized is going to be corrupt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, be like studying Latin like I did, you realize how much the Catholic Church pulled from Roman paganism, because it was easier to convert people if that was like basically the rituals were the same. Instead of trying to make them change over completely.
Yeah, which would, I mean...
That's why Jesus' birthday is December 25th, even though he was likely born in the spring, because December 25th was already a huge Roman holiday. So, I'm ruining Christmas.
I mean, Christmas was already only about Santa Claus for me,
Yeah.
so it's not too... That was already ruined for me.
It was already ruined.
So, it's fine.
Anyways. Also, wearing a crucifix can protect against demons. And do you know the difference between a crucifix and a cross?
Does the crucifix have to have Jesus on it?
Yes. And it's also scary. Like...
Scary Jesus?
Well, not scary Jesus, but...
Dead.
Jesus nailed to the cross.
Right.
Which I always thought, maybe that's why I like dark things. It's just kind of like that's a Catholic thing too, that there's like the crucifix. Like, it is really gory to like look at that as a child at church.
Like, he fell dead.
And a lot of times they got like the blood. Like at church today, I was looking at the crucifix. I was like, yep, there's his blood wounds dripping down.
Yeah. It's not pleasant.
No. But I mean, it's a reminder of that he suffered for our sins.
So is the crucifix more effective than just the cross?
Yes, and at least Catholics believe that. Because that's scary to the devil. He don't care about cross, but he cares about Jesus.
The cross only works on vampires.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, duh.
Crucifix just makes them blow up immediately.
Da!
Instant.
And then praying the rosary often helps too, which is you pray to,
What
Mary.
are rosaries? What is a rosary?
Should make you pray it one day. It's very long. I
have to
should
pray
have
it.
brought one because I have so many. It's got a crucifix on it, and then it's got all these different beads, and each bead symbolizes a prayer that you say.
Oh.
But you say it like there's the chain, which is a set of prayers, and then you've got the main, neck part, and that you basically repeat the same thing 5 times. It's a lot of praying. It takes like 45 minutes to say the rosary.
Is it like the same? It's the same thing each time, though?
You do repeat. Yeah, you repeat prayers. You say the Hail Mary the most.
But, like, where did...
Where did it come from?
Yeah, it's probably too off topic, but, like, what
I
even...
don't know.
Huh.
I mean, at some point in the Catholic history, they came up with the rosary. I don't know. It's basically just... it's probably because the nuns or something came up with it just because they had to pray a lot. So, like, we need a marker.
It's like a cheat sheet.
It is a cheat sheet. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I know I've always seen them, but I, like, never fully knew what they were. I just knew they're Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're pretty.
Yeah, there's some really pretty ones. I have one blessed by the Pope.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm special.
You're a big
So
deal.
fancy.
I got chewed out by one of the former Pope's chefs, so...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't eating enough at his restaurant.
Oh, that's right.
I got in trouble.
I forgot about that.
So I think I got, like, reverse blessed or something.
Reverse blessed.
That's a curse.
Well, I'll get you a rosary and we'll say it a few times.
Do you think I can pray for 45 minutes? I've had, like, 20 side tangents.
You might be able to go faster
Oh.
if we stalk faster.
Eminem praying.
Yeah, and then like I had mentioned earlier, at the beginning there's the prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel that also helps. Gotta cast out that evil. Cast it. Yeah.
Peace.
And then there's just a couple that I thought were kind of fun. They're more like folklore based, but you've got silver.
Right.
So everyone has heard the myth about how a silver bullet is the only thing that can stop a werewolf. But the lore of silver being used against creatures extends beyond werewolves. Because of the lunar association that silver has in European folklore, it is believed to protect against monsters such as vampires, werewolves, and shapeshifters. And along with salt, silver is believed to be pure, which is probably why it has become a symbol of protection. And then you have iron.
Yep.
So that's another metal that is thought to be very important in protection against the dark and supernatural. The folklore and mythology behind its importance is varied worldwide. Horseshoes are probably the most well-known charms that originated as iron protection or providers of good luck. It is believed in many European cultures that horseshoes are good luck and that if they are made of iron, which was an available metal, it would ward off bad spirits and prevent the visit of unwanted otherworldly guests to their homes. So that's kind of, the hanging of
Because I knew
horseshoes
that was
above
used a lot
doorways.
to keep, like, because more in certain European cultures, it was more fairies than, like, spirits, which are kind of the same thing at the end of the day.
Right.
But I know, like, the iron in particular was always talked about in that regard, and the horseshoe over the doorway,
Mm-hmm.
all of the things.
Yeah. So, and then I didn't really get into crystals because I started to research it and then I just got super overwhelmed. There are a lot of crystals of protection and healing.
That could be its full-on episode.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to just leave. Yeah, there's crystals. They're good. If you believe, whatever. It's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, that needs to be its own episode.
And I think
for
we
sure.
maybe need to have, like, someone talk
Yeah.
about that. Who knows? Because I started to look into it and I was like, oof.
It's a lot to
Mhm.
sort out. We could probably find somebody more knowledgeable.
I can talk
for
to
sure.
Catholic stuff.
Yeah, and I can nod. I don't know if I have a specialty.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. This is kind of a religious episode.
Yeah. No, I like it. We need all the protection we can get. I know I have, again, my friend who does the Wiccan stuff, she kind of is really into the Norse stuff. She was telling me about runes that you can use for protection.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to look into, all the other religions and their, like, you know, talismans and stuff.
We need to start doing something. We just go in.
We're just like, whew, well, we're still...
Yeah, I don't know if praying would necessarily work for me, because I feel like
I think you need to believe what you're saying. Yeah.
So I need to find something else.
Yeah, you need to find what works for you. Yeah. Because I think that's probably a lot of this it's because that even goes along with the saging thing. It's like you can't just like sage your home. You need to be saying, get out, leave negative energy or evil spirits. Like, so I think it's a lot of it is closing it off ourselves.
That's why you gotta hire a psychic to do it for you.
Yeah, if you're not strong enough in your beliefs.
I'm not.
So now you know more about how to protect yourself. We need to probably implement some of these.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be curious to take those little ghost jars and more investigations and see if that...
Yeah, they definitely worked. I think they worked well for us at Waverly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's our little teasers. Waverly is going to be the next episode. Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
I feel like it's been a bit since we've had an investigation episode, so I'm excited.
And we went hardcore with it. Not only did we do an investigation, we investigated from 12 a.m. to 5:30, technically.
Yeah, but that was like our first true like overnight. Like, I mean, stayed up till 6 a.m. That is hardcore. Yeah. Hardcore for me, who likes to go to bed at 9
p.m. It was hardcore for me. I
actually like felt. I think I was like surprised at how well I felt. I was like, let's keep going.
And I was surprised that I was on death's doorstep.
Yeah. So, anyways, we hope you all have a lovely day or evening whenever you're listening to this.
We hope you had a great Easter, because this is coming out tomorrow.
It is. This is the quickest turnaround we have had for an episode.
Yes. We are doing great.
We have 10 hours till we need to release it.
Fuck.
So we will bid you adieu so that we can edit it.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, also make sure to follow us wherever you're listening, and follow us on Instagram
at Remnants Pod.
Yep, we are posting frequently, and we'll be getting some really cool stuff up there as we go through all of our footage from Waverly. So, woo-hoo. And there might be some baby Jesus action. No promises. Goodbye. Now we must pray.
Now we must pray. Let us pray. It's kind of like an intense prayer too, so I feel like I gotta I don't know what voice I'm supposed to do, but
Father Kayla.
Sister Kayla.
No.